Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Afro Luigi, and I'm back after a fairly long break. I've been busy. Uh, with what, you may ask? Well, my parents have been doing some renovating, so I've been helping with that. Also, I've been doing some moving things around. I've got my recording studio set up in a different area, so I like it. It's easier to hit the mute button on my mic, not that I'm using the same mic. There may be a slight difference in the audio quality because this time I'm using my headset. I'm not using. I normally have a mic set up, but my new room has a lower ceiling than the old one, and I was using a fairly over-the-top boom mic for my mic. It's been quite a while since I did a video on Rebirth, and I have been busy playing it in my spare time. Also, I've been habit of wandering off to let it run. That's not working. So what's new is last time I did an episode it was 2.0, and now we are in 2.51. So I'll just go back through what the patches I've missed doing videos on. In 2.2 they introduced a 64-bit exe file, so the game can now fully goes through 64-bit processors. And there's a whole bunch of fixes in that. I'm just going to go over what's new. In 2.5, sorry, they introduced the sidebar you can see here, which is the newest, well, second newest patch technically, and it's pretty much the X3 X3 Terran Conflict and Albion Prelude bar, except with a few more options. This section here is for the Never Enter Stations patch. So if we were in a sector with NPC stations, there'd be things you could contact through here. Trade offers are here. This takes you back into the crew quarters of the ship. Drones, navigation bar, mission manager, information, and the scan modes. Well, not just scanning, but mining and stuff. They have also introduced the external camera view, which you can activate by pressing the F2 key for a look of the Albion Skunk. Or if, say, we select this guy way over here, which is my H2O additive fact miner, press F3, we get an external camera view on our target. This is my ship. Well, this is my Strivok, Sequana is what it is, and I have it mining. We'll get to what it's mining for in a minute. Actually, you can probably see what it's mining for, that station there. They also added new mission types. Drone Hunt, which is just one of those generic go kill these guys, except it's go kill these drones. Protection Detail, so pretty much an escort mission. And there's a Diplomatic Aid mission chain, which I plan on getting around to and showing you guys what that is on camera. Which is, I think it's the first expansion for the main things. I'm not sure exactly what it involves, besides, well, Diplomatic Aid apparently, but also apparently, I'm not sure what this means, but respawning of specialists with increasing hire fees. So apparently the more specialists you hire, the more expensive they get, which I didn't know before I started hiring a whole bunch of specialists for my stations, and I've been building quite a few, as we'll see in a minute. The auto refuel settings have been changed, so, oh, there you go, all my stations I've built. So let's go have a look at these auto refuel stuff, which I assume you get through here. Refuel automatically, yes, no, maybe, that might be it. All large ships now have primary shields. I might be wrong on that, because they just said added primary shields to large ships that didn't have them. But presumably, I would assume that means all of them. If I'm wrong, feel free to correct me. Civil war behavior between Plutarch and Heart of Albion, which is where we left off in the plot. There was supposed to be this sort of war thing going on, but we didn't see any evidence of it. And I still haven't seen any evidence, but I've seen screen caps on the Egosoft forums about capital ships in Gemstone Manufacturer, which is in Albion, far out, and it's that sector right there. Apparently there's some combat between Plutarch and Albion there, and Heart of Albion there. That was an issue where before, if your construction vessel, which we have, I'll just fly over here for this exact one. If your construction vessel got destroyed, you'd be unable to repair it, and station construction would just cease and desist. They can now replace lost construction vessels so you can continue rebuilding your stations. and NPCs can do it too, which is I think how I got this interesting bug over here, which I think I need to restart to fix. But as you can see here, that's one station. Technically, those are two separate stations built on top of each other. And if you like open up, they even have. There were supposed to be construction ships there, but I don't see them. So that might be another thing that's another bug that won't be fixed unless I restart. Ships can now be. You can now have multiple ships of the same like three, say, Sequana miners, for example. You can now have them assigned to the other miner for a superior rather than having to go for one size larger as well. So if we had fighter crafts, which I had captured for a while, we'd have to assign them to a bigger ship to why am I moving? That's because I've got my CB set. We'd have to assign them to something bigger, but now we can have like fighter wings commanded by a fighter. Also, I totally skipped over that, but we can now, there are now shipyards for fighters and small and medium ships, and with traders attached, so you can now purchase and repair, more importantly, these fighters. So these Reaver fighters I've been capturing, I've been repairing, and I've got decent pilots on all of them. So I now have my own private fighter wing. My only problem with that is they tend to lag behind if I fly. They lag behind. Are those two inside each other? Let's see if I can knock them loose. Did I knock them loose? No. Almost. Did that do it? Pretty much, but now they're. I think those fighters are trying to mate, actually, so we'll just look away. That's awkward. So we can have fighter wings and stuff. As I was saying, my issue with them is they lag behind. So if I say I flew up to Fiendish Moloch, they'd set the course to Fiendish Moloch, get there, and then say I flew down to Vapor Stream. Well, I'd get to Vapor Stream, and they'd still be up in Fiendish Moloch. I'm pointing with my fingers if you can see it. Where's my mouse? Oh, there it is. They'd still be up in Fiendish Moloch up here while I'm down here, and then they'd have to get into the highway and fly behind me. So they're not the path following. Escort AIs could do it with a bit more work, right along with what was that other thing I wanted? Oh, station managers, which is what we're getting to. So as you can see, I've got quite a large amount of stations. I'm pretty much self-sufficient, although I have a spreadsheet out with the amount of goods I'm producing, and I'm technically running at a deficit of some materials. So I'm going to need to build a few more. Where's my note? My notes are over there. I'm not going to go get them. But so I need to replace. So the integrated view of warfare. Yes, it's nice. Yes, it is providing me with enough to slowly produce reinforced metal plating. I think that's what it is. Yeah. Actually, why are you asking? Special honest. Yeah. So I'm technically ready enough to operate, but the turret forge threw me into a resource deficit. So I'm going to have to build more. I either need to build more stations or I need to provide everyone with specialists and fully upgrade everything, which is what I'm slowly doing. Starting with the H2O fact to provide resources to my foodstuff fact. Oh, and an interesting thing I found out by reading the forums, and I accidentally did it, is that stations will trade with each other without freighters assigned to them. So let's see if we can find an example of it happening. Let's see. But as you can see, mass traffic is forming for my stations. Let's see if we can find allied mass traffic. Where'd it go? Oh, there's some more. I don't think we can. Oh, there we go. Right here. See this green mass traffic? Look at my down here when I highlight it again. Actually, I'll just target it. Cargo lifter URV. This station, this foodstuff factor, is purchasing water from the H2O additives fact without having stations assigned. It's not providing a lot right now. It's not buying a lot right now because the H2O additives fact is not selling a lot of water at a decent price. So as I expand the H2O additives fact, it will start to be able to produce more water and store more, which will drop the price even more, allowing the foodstuff fact to buy more water and then become fully self-sufficient. Well, not self-sufficient. I am operating in DeFreeze primarily as my home base. So what I've been doing is I've been providing the high-end goods, and I've been leeching my food rations and energy cells off the Canterans. and then selling reinforced metal plating, microchips, and that sort of stuff to their shipyard to make a profit. It's not working as well as I'd like yet, because once again, I'm not producing a lot, but it's enough for me to make a bit more money. Also, I've been flying to Omicron and Albion and importing goods straight to their freighter. Not freighter, to their shipyard. So. And where was I going to go with this? Right, I was going to let these guys go. Actually, I'm already 10 minutes in and I've just been talking. Wow. So I think that is that's catching up on the patches. And, oh, over here, the one station I still need to build before I am 100% self-sufficient is way over here. Now, the reason I'm putting them all together is so I can take the advantage of the energy, the freighter-free resource transfer. This is a med dispensary. It's going to be producing me medical supplies, narcotics, and what's the other thing it produces? Space fuel comes from there. Space weed, right. This thing will be selling space weed as well, which is pretty much weed, except in space! I should stop saying that word. Well, it's not really a word, it's a thought. But this is going to be producing my medical supplies, narcotics, yeah, space weed. Yeah, I like how they just call it herb garden. And it will be supplying my arms fab and plate foundry with medical supplies, which I've been importing up till now. Once this thing is operational and resource free, these three stations will feed into each other. So the H2O additive fact will provide water to the foodstuff factory, which I believe I should have brought my notes over here, but will supply the necessary goods for the pharmafad to operate independently, and all these stations will be energy cells imported, which the Canterans are doing themselves. I actually don't own any energy freighters, because even the Canterans do all that for me. Even if we go to the cell fab, which makes antimatter cells, ion cells, plasma cells, they are technically an energy-aware good, so their energy freighters will actually go down to them and purchase energy cells, not energy cells, the antimatter, plasma, and ion cells, purchase the those cells, and import them all the way up to Glaring Truth, which is where they're used. I have my crystal supplier for Nevidium cubes and cut crystals here in Flickering Flame down by the jump gate Albion, and Dim Flame Lit, it has my cell fab. The Plutarch Overwatch hasn't repaired itself since someone took it out. It wasn't me, I don't think. I'll have to go back, because this is technically a different save than when I went through the plot. So Plutarch Overwatch is not operational, and even then, I've managed to get my rep to a point where they won't attack me on sight, so my ships have no problem jumping there and flying over to the other stations. And most of my stations are up here in Glaring Truth. I've got my integrated URV forge and tech laboratory over here in Magma Pool. Darned Hot Air has my ship tech fac and arms tech fab. And Furnace Chamber has, it just has a trader. So that's all my stations that I've been building. I'll show you what they've all got equipped. Oh, to protect my stations, the cell fabs, they all have a destroyer assigned to them, which this station has the Phoenix. It has the destroyer the plot gives you. Not gives you. They make you board it, but it has it defending it as well has 50 interceptor URVs. While the crystal supplier has a Succulus destroyer, not sorry. It has a Succulus destroyer assigned, which I captured during a cartel boss mission, cartel boss vulnerable mission. Captured it there, and I just assigned it there, and it's been defending. But it also has 50 interceptor URVs, which is mainly what I've been using the integrated URV forge for. Technically, I could be using it to actually make a profit off interceptor URVs, because I think there is a market for them. But mainly, I've just been using them to protect my own stations. That's not how you spell interceptor URV MK1. That's not how you spell it then. Now let's just interceptor. No? Did I spell interceptor wrong? Oh. I think I did. Oh, okay. Let's try this again.
Yes?
Load up.
And the new orders are?
Yeah, intercept. There's a market for them. Not a lot of them, but there is a market for them. So I could be making profit off them. But once again, they're better used to be for my better use for defense for my stations. Speaking of defense for the stations, I had more fighters earlier. As you can see here, I have 3 Senelasts and 1 Malcon. I had 2 more Malcons assigned to the H2 additive fact, but the defense officer didn't launch its drones, so the Malcons got destroyed by a Reaver attack. I don't know why they didn't take advantage of their ships. So what I was going to do this episode is continue on with the what's it called? Operation Operation Forge Guard here. But I am running out of time, so I guess we'll just activate the mission and start flying over there.
Autopilot.
And actually, I guess that'll allow me to demonstrate the lagging behind. One thing I've noticed about the autopilot is if you turn on your boost while autopilot is on, it will momentum will kick in and you'll actually fly. You get the speed boost from the turbo a lot longer. As you can see here, my fighters, they're just kind of drifting along. Once we arrive in Vapor Stream, we'll see some actual movement from them. Although, Reaver attack. So let's drop out here.
Disengaged. Entering Vapor Stream.
Now that we're here in
Transmitting new coordinates to
Vapor Stream, you can see that the Senelasts and my fighters are moving to get into the jump highway, not jump gate. And they'll lag behind because they're not quite as fast as me. Let's go kill these Donalags to wrap up the episode. As for combat, it's a lot harder. I have Mark II gear, and I still get my ass handed to me by Reavers and stuff. When there's 3 of them I can take on no problem, 6 of them gets to be an issue, but the fighters don't are usually close enough behind me that they can join in the fight near the end and save my ass. So, having fighter wings does help, but once again, if you want, don't expect them to be here and behind you anytime soon. There's a lot of junk here. And I can't pick up any of it because glitchy. So the game still has a lot of work to go. The game still has a lot of work to be done. Actually, the only bugs I see are to be fixed would be this thing, which requires a restart because it's a fragment from an old patch. And there's an interesting thing going on up here. Last I looked. Yeah, last time I was up in Darntot Air, there were drones everywhere being left behind by one of the traders. Which one was it? I think it was the bulk trader, but yeah. Actually, maybe we'll be able to find it this way.
We currently
Oops,
have no
wrong
ship
button.
capable of doing that.
I'm using the keyboard to navigate the menus because that's just how I'm used to playing the X Universe games. Just with the keyboard, not really touching the mouse. Is it this guy? No. Oh, no, they seem to have picked it up. But for a while there, the bulk trader for the Arms Tech Fab was littering its drones everywhere. But it seems to have recovered them all, so it must have been something that got picked up in the patches. So, never mind it. It's just the managers. They like to... I'll show you. This is not a good example, but it'll do. Actually, better example. The managers like to let the wares run out. They'll do, say, energy cells. Say they have you assign an energy freighter, and the station uses antimatter cells and energy cells. Rather than going to, the manager will let the ion cells run out before they assign the energy trader to go pick up ion cells. Instead, they'll have the trader doing a whole bunch of tiny little runs, picking up energy cells back and forth. So that could use some work, but my Arms Tech Fab slowly produces weapons. So I could probably make actually a bit of profit by selling these. Plasma Jet LRs, I think, is the ones I don't use on any of my stations.
The plasma jet LR system.
I'll hold on to them for now and let the DeFreeze shipyard purchase them if they want. But that's going to be it for this episode. I do have more episodes coming. I did some. I've also been letting my game run in the back. Another game I've been just kind of booting up, letting it run is X2 the Threat. Oh look, there's my energy. There's my Rahana's hybrid freighter. It is. I love that freighter actually. It's fast. It's decently fast. It's not as fast as the Kantaran Strivok freighters, but it is perfect for station building and stuff. It can carry container and energy wares, which is the only thing stations need to get built. Oh look, Reaver's incoming. Let's end this episode off on a fight.
You're getting me very worried now.
One thing I've been doing is I've been keeping a pilot in the back seat so I can get more freighters because I don't want to pay for things. I want to get as much things as I can free.
Ready to go on your say, sir.
Now that my fighter should be moving to engage right now, so we should see them engaging the enemy.
Secured and hold.
Nope, but that ship's not going to do too well if we don't help it. So, AI still needs some work, is my main issue right now, but that's one thing I've been a fan of the Egosoft's games since X3 Reunion is the game, yeah, and that's one thing it's always been. The game is initially, in their initial release, always have major issues, need to be patched. I remember when X3 Terran Conflict came out, there was the hub sector, which is a spoiler for those who haven't played it yet, but you could enter the sector perfectly fine. The moment you tried to leave, the game crashed. So unless you used a jump drive. So if you got to the hub sector too early, you were stuck there. And that was game breaking for me. I had to wait a patch or two for it to get because I got stuck in the hub sector. So I had to restart, not go to that sector without a jump drive, and then play through that with a jump. Yeah, I had to wait. Pretty much summer I had to wait. But yeah, always. And 2.51, my opinion on this patch, great. The game is exactly what I want it to be. It's playable, it's fun, and well, I'm making profit. Not too much, and actually, I find the managers don't transfer as much credits as I'd like. Let's find a good example. Yeah, here we go. This guy has a current budget of 10 million. He only requires 2.5, so I have to manually transfer stuff from their accounts to mine. I'll leave him 4 million. So I have to occasionally check the manager accounts to make sure. Actually, that's one thing they should do. Have a current budget, say minimum budget here. That's that they think their minimum budget, and then you allow them to have a float. That if they make in excess of that, or they sell. If they don't have that much, they don't sell. They send you the credits. But oh well, things are being added still, and I'm really looking forward to the 3.0. They're promising new. Well, they're not. I'm not sure if they're promising or I've just saw them mention they're assuming they're hoping for more pirate interactions, and then there's the Talati Outpost expansion pack, which I am looking forward to. I have already pre-ordered it. If you manage to get it before November 1st, I think it is you get it free. Don't quote me on that. Just check the Steam page and the Egosoft website. And that was this episode. I will see you guys next time. Bye.